Hey y'all, welcome back to another vlog and happy May. Y'all already know we record the testimonials a month after because obviously we have to live through the month in order for me to testify about it. So it's May, but we are going to be talking about April in this video and I'm so excited, y'all. I'm always excited. So y'all are going to hear me say that almost in every video. But I really hope y'all enjoyed the March testimonial video, although it was 2 hours long. I hope y'all were able to watch the entire thing. And at this point, you kind of can't put a time limit on all the good things and the favor and all the good news and gospel that, you know, God is doing. So I really hope and pray that this one isn't as long as the last one, but y'all already know I say that in every video too. But I have my coffee today, and we're just gonna hop right into it. I do want to start by saying that since the month of March, we have been fasting the first 5 days of each month. So March was the first month and April was the second month of our 5-day fast. And I do this with a group called Increase 365, which I have been a part of since the end of 2022 I joined, so all throughout 2023, and now we're here. So we have been fasting for 2 months for the first 5 days of each month, and yeah, so some great things have come out of that and I'm so excited to share. So let's hop right in. Okay y'all, so April 1st. So I think I mentioned in the last video that when I hosted my event, I had got a nail in my tire that day. So April 1st, you already knew my event happened March 30th. So fast forward to April 1st, I was finally able to take my car to get fixed. I just got the tire plugged. They took the nail out, they plugged the tire. Y'all, it was like less than $40. Very thankful because I had the money and it was an easy thing to do. But I think he called me, the guy that fixed my car, and mentioned that of course my tires weren't that great. I probably needed to buy new tires. I needed an alignment, I needed all these things. And at the time, I just wasn't really prioritizing that. I was really just prioritizing my tire. So y'all, we're now in May and I have yet to get any of those things done. But by the grace of God, my car has been driving perfectly fine. I have been safe. The only thing I need to do is replace my one of my lights in the back of my car, the rear end lights, whatever they're called. So I need to replace one of those. But aside from that, eventually over time, I'll start to get some more things done. But my car is driving perfectly fine, y'all. Also, April 1st, of course, was the first day of our 5-day fast. And also, April 1st was the second day, I think, of the Pursuit of Prosperity boot camp. So I had signed on to be a part of the Pursuit of Prosperity bootcamp with Increase 365, and I'm gonna talk about that experience all throughout this video. It was definitely a great experience. We received different exercises throughout the bootcamp to tackle and to really just learn more about ourselves when it comes to our financial challenges and our financial traumas. So it was definitely a good experience. So you'll be hearing more about that throughout this video. All right, so April 2nd, y'all, I needed to do a haul. I needed some more skincare products. And it's so funny because one of my friends, I don't know if I mentioned this in the last video, but one of my friends actually told me about an app called Yuka, Y-U-K-A. And basically you can scan beauty products and food products and see the quality of it as far as if it's considered good or bad. So they rank it out of 100. Anything that is below 50 is considered bad or poor. Anything that is 50 and above is considered good or excellent. So I was going through, when she told me about the app, I was going through all of my products, and a lot of my products that I was using, y'all, were not good. So I said, okay, I need to do a cleanse of my skincare products and I need to get some new stuff. So on this particular day, April 2nd, I went to Ulta and I cleaned up. Y'all, I spent almost $100, but I was able to get a little bit of everything that I needed. And I was able to scan all the brands of the products that I was getting, and most of them were 100 out of 100, or if not close to it. So I was very thankful for that. I had never spent, honestly, that much money on skincare products at one time, so it felt good to be able to like splurge on myself and also get things that I know that I needed. So I've been using those products, y'all, and I love them. Some of the brands that I purchased was Good Molecules, Cure, I think that's how you pronounce it, of course La Roche-Posay, however you say it. What else did I get? I think that might have been it. I think I got some topical stuff. I went to Ulta, but also Sephora, like later down the line. I also got some Glow Recipe as well. So all of those brands are considered good in the Yuka app, or excellent. So if y'all are shopping for skincare products, definitely consider those brands. Also that day, I was able to, right after I did some shopping for myself, I pulled up with my friend Rhea, and she needed some help with cleansing her wardrobe, cleansing her closet. She actually had just moved to the area and really just wanted to get rid of some stuff. So I helped her to like organize and cleanse and audit her wardrobe, and it just made her feel so good, y'all. So of course that made me feel good and made me feel happy, because I love helping my friends. I love helping people who aren't my friends, especially with things that I know that I'm good at. So cleansing wardrobes, cleansing closets, throwing clothes away, not necessarily throwing them away, you know, but removing those pieces that no longer suit you or your body. And as a 30-year-old, all of my friends are 30, if not close to it, or a little bit older, and we're just in that stage where we're trying to just like transition into adulthood and also look like adults. So I mean, many of us are in a space where we are like getting rid of clothes and just being more intentional about what we're shopping for. So it was nice to be able to really help her do that. And while I was at her house, a lot was going on. So I had been there for hours at this point. It took a minute for us to do the closet cleanse. And then of course I had the prayer session for the fasting, since it was day 2 of our monthly fast. I also had a call with the Pursuit of Prosperity Bootcamp attendees. So I had 2 calls, and it was cool because I listened to them in front of Rhea. So she was able to take notes, she was able to tune in and really receive what Raven was talking about. So that was nice. And she enjoyed it too, although it was very long and she was not expecting me to be on those calls for that long, but that's what happens, sis. But other than that, I'm glad she was able to receive what Raven was talking about. I also had a call with a photographer. So a photographer randomly reached out to me on Instagram. He had just moved to Maryland, and he, I guess, saw my content and loved like my style and how I presented myself, and he wanted to work with me. So we had a call to just learn more about each other and to just get a better understanding of what he was wanting to do. So that was nice too. So it was just a lot of great things happening that day. On top of, I ended up receiving my sneakers for the sneaker ball. So y'all, in the last video, I think I hit on the sneaker ball towards the end, but April 6th was the sneaker ball for the B Org. We pretty much go every year, but I know they hadn't had it in a while. So I was excited to like get my outfit and prepare. So I had bought some sneakers, they fit perfectly, but I had got a dress that was way too small. Y'all, literally could not button it. So, and mind you, this was literally the week of the sneaker ball. So I ended up returning that dress and just quickly buying another one, which y'all saw in the last video, that ended up working out. So I'm glad that I was able to do that. All right, y'all. So April 3rd. So April 3rd, I was able to pay Mona Lee and Jasmine for their services rendered at the workshop, the Vision and Style workshop. So I had confirmed that Mona would basically get half of what the profit was from the workshop. So I'm thankful that I was able to pay her for her time and also have enough money left over to pay for the photographer who I had in my event as well. And after paying, she was able to send over some of the proofs for the event. Those pictures, y'all, and she was kind of showing me some of them as we were taking them at the event, but they were so pretty. I love how they came out. I love the natural lighting. I love how fresh the content looked. That's just like my signature, just like really fresh looking content. So I loved her work, and I'm glad that I was able to even have a photographer there to take pictures, because at one point I was thinking I wasn't gonna have anybody. I was originally gonna have my boyfriend do it for free, but at the time he wasn't available, so I had to find someone to take the photos. I'm sure I mentioned that in the last video. So when I came across Jasmine, we clicked. She was great, and I just loved all the content. So I was very thankful that I was able to pay her for her time and also get some really nice photos. But I do want to have a videographer at my next workshop, because still photos are awesome and great, but like it's nothing like a video where you can actually hear what I'm saying and what the guests are saying, and also just like see and all the things in real time. So I was also able to return the flowers to Michael's that I had purchased for my event to get some money back, and I was also able to ship off that dress that did not fit back to what website did I get it off of? Miss Circle. So I was able to return the dress to Miss Circle. Now I actually had to pay to return the dress, which I'm not used to. I'm used to shopping on websites where it's free to make returns. So when I had to pay, I was a little I ain't really like that. So moving forward, if I do shop on that website again, because they have really cute dresses, I need to make sure I get the size that fits, so I don't have that issue, because it was real ghetto having to pay for that. Last but not least, I was able to connect with my new coworker. So at the time, and I'll talk about this in the next video, but at the time I was part-time at my job, and it was just me and my manager who were virtual stylists. And when they released the new service, okay y'all, my father is doing lawn work, as y'all can hear, so hopefully y'all can still hear me and that isn't a distraction for y'all. But anyway, I had connected with my coworker because my company, my brand that I work for, was hiring new people. At the time, we had started bento styling in April, which was a new service we were offering again. So they actually was offering this service when Emma LaFleur was first founded and first released. They were offering a bento box, which is basically like a try before you buy, which to me is something that I've experienced multiple times, because I work for multiple companies and multiple brands as a stylist, and a lot of these brands did things like that. So this service wasn't new to me, but it was new to the coworker that I was talking to. So because we had that new service, the brand wanted to hire more stylists to just help with all the clients that were coming in through the bento styling. So my manager wanted me to basically just connect with the new hire, give her some tips and tricks on how to style and all the things, and also just give her some tips and tricks on what pieces to choose from, or what pieces to choose and how they fit and all of that through our brand. So I connected with her. She was a super sweet woman, and still is. She's still my coworker, and it was just really cool to connect with her. We were on the phone for at least, well, we were on Zoom for at least 2 hours, just talking, and it was a lot we had in common as far as like being stylists and really dealing with like clients as a stylist. So it was a really cute connection, and I'm glad I was able to speak with her. So April 4th, I basically stayed in the house all day working, getting things done. And while I was home, I received my new dress. I literally like expedited it so I could make sure that it would come in time for the ball. So I received my dress, I had my sneakers, the dress fit great. Although it was a little altering that needed to be done, I ain't have time for that. I made it do what it do. So I was glad that I received my dress. Also, I only had one client for the day, but that one client spent over $2,000 at my job. So that was a nice, surprise. And I even woke up to $75 from my uncle for helping him just helping him do all the things that he's been working on, all the projects and all the things that he's been working on. And that was a nice surprise too. And at this point in time, I hadn't received my second refund check. So y'all, I think I talked about this in the last video about the refund check fiasco and not actually receiving direct deposit, but receiving physical checks. So my first check, I had received a physical check after they tried putting it or depositing it into my account, and it was an error. And at the time, I didn't understand why it was an error because none of my information had changed. So fast forward to the second check, it wasn't deposited into my account either. So I'm like, okay, there's a trend going on. Like, what's really happening? So come to find out, and I'll probably talk about this later in the video as well, but I'll just talk about it here. Come to find out, my accountant had put the wrong account number on my tax form. So when I didn't receive the first check, I had said something to her, and we had confirmed my checking routing number and my checking account number. Everything was fine, so she says. So when the second check wasn't deposited, I'm like, yo, it has to be something wrong. Like, what is happening? This is ridiculous. So I had finally got in contact with someone at the Maryland comptroller, and the woman basically explained, she was like, okay, well, let's walk through your account and your routing number. Tell me your routing number first. Told her my routing number. Okay, great, we're good. Tell me your account number. Telling her my account number, and she's like, wait a minute. There's an extra zero in here. I said, what in the... I was pissed because, like I said, we had already confirmed that everything was good. So I had to reach back out to my accountant, let her know, like, hey, we actually don't have the right account number. And she had said that she had copied and pasted it, so maybe that had kind of messed up the number. I don't know. But eventually I did end up receiving my second check in the mail, but it just took way longer than what I was expecting, but it came at the right time. So that's really all I can be thankful for. But yeah, y'all, when y'all get y'all taxes done, make sure y'all accountant puts the right account number on y'all tax forms. That has never happened to me before, and it was just so ironic how it happened the month when I started. Well, not even though it didn't start this month, but it was just happening throughout the Pursuit of Prosperity Bootcamp. And even while we were fasting, I know that it was a test from God with my patience and just my anger, because it's a lot of things. If this was me like years ago, I would have been like super frustrated, super angry, super upset. And not to say that I didn't feel a type of way this time around, because I did, but I just wasn't like I wasn't allowing it to like stop my day, if that makes sense. So yeah, but at this point on April 4th, I was just trying to give the comptroller a call because at this point my bank wasn't being helpful, and my bank asked if they could get a tracking number for the deposit. I don't know. So they had suggested that I call the comptroller back just to get that information. Tried calling them back and the line was busy. So it definitely wasn't a quick process. It took a while for me to get back in contact with the comptroller. So yeah. Okay, y'all, so on April 5th, that was literally the next day where I got some clarity on why I hadn't received my second refund check, which I basically already explained, so I'm not going to go too deep into detail. But I will say that that day I saw 2 money trucks. So with me being a part of Increase 365, we have some things that we do that are very unique to our group. So over the past year, I want to say, Raven had sent out a message about seeing Brinks trucks. And if y'all know what a Brinks truck is, or if y'all don't know what a Brinks truck is, it's basically a money truck that goes to different retailers, different stores, different places that earn money, and they collect the money for, I guess, the week or the month or within the 2 weeks. I don't know how often they grab the money. So in our group, ever since Raven has sent out that message about Brinks trucks, in the group, every time we see one, every time someone sees one, we say it in the group. Like, oh, I just saw a Brinks truck, I just saw a Garda truck, I just saw a Loomis truck, and there's so many brands, but they all are money trucks. So the same day that I got clarity on why I hadn't received my refund check was the same day that I had saw 2 money trucks. So the first one was a Garda truck, and I see Brinks trucks and money trucks often, but at the time it had been a while since I had seen one. So literally leaving Sephora, sitting in my car, I see a Garda World truck. And those trucks are the big, like, tractor trailer trucks. They're not tractor trailer trucks, but they're big and red. So I was so busy staring at it that I forgot to take a video and a picture. Usually when people say that they saw the truck in a group chat, they'll leave a photo or whatever to say that they saw it, just for a receipt. But I was so busy staring at it that I did not even take a picture of it. But I still went into the group chat and said that I saw one. So the second one that I saw, I was on my way, I want to say I was on my way to Jordan's, maybe, I can't remember, but I was in the car and I was on the highway. And it's so funny because I was staring at, this was a white van, so I was staring at the van as I was driving up, and I was passing it. I noticed that it was a Brinks truck. Now, I had never seen a Brinks van ever. I didn't even know they existed. So it was so funny because I just kind of like laughed, like, oh, that was unexpected. And I understood it, honestly, for me, I understood it as God saying that money can come out of nowhere and surprise you. Just like that Brinks trucks or Brinks van surprised me, money can do the same thing. Also, what I took from that was it can also look different than what I'm used to. So it gave me a different perspective on how I can actually receive money, how God is going to send me money. It's not always going to be from my 9 to 5. It's not always going to be from getting a client at my styling business. It's not always going to be from submitting a blog post at Modsense. It may not always be from working with my uncle. Like, it may be something random, or maybe from somewhere random that I wasn't even expecting. Or he may encourage me to do something different to make money, or do something that is out of the norm of what I'm used to make money. So I hope that makes sense, and I hope that you receive that if you are looking for financial increase specifically, and financial favor. So if you see a Brinks truck, I know y'all not in Increase 365, but if you do see a Brinks truck or a Loomis truck or a Garda truck while you're out and about, take a photo and know that God is going to send you your increase whenever the time is right. So I hope that encourages you as you watch this. And last but not least, I did get the refund for my dress that I had returned. So that was a nice little surprise, which makes sense as to why I saw the Brinks van. Okay, y'all, so on April 6th, this was a busy day. I was able to sleep in though, which I'm very thankful for. I know it was a Saturday and it was the weekend. You would think like, oh, who doesn't sleep in on the weekends? I don't. I don't always get an opportunity to sleep in on the weekends. So it was nice to have been able to have done that on this particular day. Usually the first Saturday of every month, I go to a mentee breakfast with my mentee. And I think we went to the last one. I can't remember, but it had been a while, I want to say, since I had attended one. But she wasn't available that day. And honestly, I was not mad that she couldn't go because I did not feel like going. So that's why I was able to sleep in. But when I finally got up, I was able to, of course, do my journaling. I edited a vlog, and I was able to do a lot of administrative stuff because I had all the free time to do it. Also that day was Blaze's 4th birthday party, and it was cool because my sister planned it at the My Gym that was right up the street from where Jordan lives. So I was already at Jordan's house. I didn't really have to go far. So I went to My Gym to celebrate Blaze's 4th birthday. I had got him a gift. I had got him a truck and like some pajamas. I asked my sister what he needed, so she said pajamas. So of course I had to get him a toy to go with it. So he had a good time. If you're not familiar with My Gym, it's like a play area for kids. So all of our family was there for the most part, and we were able to celebrate Blaze's birthday. But of course, I had to leave a little bit earlier before it ended because I needed to go back to Jordan's to get ready for the sneaker ball. So I had my sneakers, I had my dress, we got ready for the sneaker ball. I showed y'all a video of what my dress looked like and my outfit and all that stuff. And we were able to make it to the event. And it was a really good time, y'all. I hadn't been in a while, so it was nice to just be in the presence of everybody dressed up and looking nice and feeling good. The food was good, the music was good. We took pictures. And we were able to see people that we have not seen in a while. So it was a really, really nice time. A few of the people a part of B.org were honored. People were sending in money. I think I sent in maybe like $20 or $25 just as a donation to the B.org. So it was really cool to just experience that. And it was a nice night, y'all. It was a really, really nice night. So I'm glad I was able to get my dress in time so I could be prepared for the sneaker ball. All right, y'all. So April 7th, I had to work. I think I had maybe like 3 to 4 appointments. And I believe everybody shopped. Yep, most of them shopped. And this was Sunday. So I didn't get a chance to go to church because I worked, and I didn't get a chance to watch church because I was working. But other than that, I ended up catching up on church, I'm sure, later that week. And then we kind of ended the day with helping Jordan take some photos with his artwork. So I don't know if I talked about this in the last vlog, but Jordan did a collaboration with Dunkin' Donuts, and they opened up 2 new locations, and the grand opening of the locations were basically opening day for baseball. So one of the teams, of course, was the Orioles, the Baltimore Orioles, and then the other team was the Washingtonians. I think that's their name. So Jordan basically did artwork for both teams, and he wanted to get some content at Camden Yards, which is the home base for the Orioles. So we went downtown, we parked, and took some pictures of him in the artwork. So I'm pretty sure if you follow him, you saw the content on his Instagram, and thanks to me, I was able to get some good videos and pictures with his artwork. So I'm glad I was able to do that, and it was a nice day that day, so it was nice to be outside. All right, so on April 8th, I recorded the March testimonial video. I was off that day, so I had plenty of time to record the video, and I pretty much recorded it in like stages, because throughout the video I had to go to lunch, or in the midst of the video I had to go to lunch with my friend and family, Katrina. So Katrina actually goes to my church, and she is Jordan's cousin. So funny. So we had finally connected, and we decided to go to like lunch / brunch, whatever, at this place called Easy Like Sunday here in Baltimore, and it was real good. And we just talked, and she really wanted me to come to one of her women's groups and talk about style. So we kind of talked about that a little bit, and kind of finalized the date for that, on top of just having girl talk. So it was nice to just meet with her and have some time with her and enjoy some good food. And also too, to talk about speaking at her women's group. I have grown to love intimate events, and although I am so used to like bigger events where I'm trying to sell out all the tickets and get as many people in the room as possible, the older I get, the more I enjoy smaller, close-knit events where it's not a bunch of people, but a good amount of people where you can still be vulnerable, still engage the audience, and still like learn a lot and just hear each person's individual stories and experiences. So I'm looking forward to doing her event, or her a workshop for her women's group. I believe that's going to be at the end of June. I can't remember the specific date, but it's going to be in June. And also my workshop was intimate too, so I'm here for all the intimacy. y'all. Having a bunch of people is just very overwhelming, and yeah, it's a lot. So I am enjoying the intimacy, the intimate events, and looking forward to hosting and or facilitating and or speaking at more events like that in the future. I also decided to go to the bank, or attempt to go to the bank, to inquire about, you know, what was happening with my refund check. But y'all, the bank closed. It was Monday. The bank had closed at 3. I don't know if that's like a normal schedule, but when I got there, I decided to go there the next day. And when I got there, they're like, oh, we've had them hours since the pandemic. I'm like, what? I've definitely been to the bank, I want to say closer to like 5 o'clock, and I was able to talk to somebody. Unless I'm making that up, or like I'm tripping, I don't know. But they closed at 3. So I was a little pissed at that, because I was literally on my way, and I feel like God was telling me, like, look up and see if they're open. So I looked it up as I was driving and saw that they were closed. Literally made a U-turn to go back to Jordan's house, because I was not about to waste my time, and I'm so glad I had checked. And also, it was day 5 of the Pursuit of Prosperity boot camp, and one of the exercises, or one of the messages that Raven talked about, was having unexpected expenses, and how we shouldn't make that an excuse as to why we don't sow, or as to why we don't truly believe that God will provide for us. So just praying for me and praying for y'all, that y'all don't allow unexpected expenses, like something dealing with your car, or something dealing with your home, or a medical bill, or anything that's like a random expense, get in your way or even throw you off course. So I hope y'all receive that. So on April 9th, I had a productive day. Although I worked, I had a few clients at work, I was also able to get a lot of work done for my business. I actually was able to, in my personal life, I actually was able to go back to CQ. They were open, and I was able to get some more clarity on why I hadn't received my refund check. So the person I spoke to, he actually submitted a claim to CQ so that they can get back to us with like what is actually happening. He says it usually takes about 2 to 3 business days for them to get back to me. So y'all, this man called me 2 hours later and saying, I just wanted to give you a call back to let you know that they actually did get back to me a lot sooner than what I was expecting. He said that doesn't usually happen. I said, oh. He said, yeah, just to give you some clarity, they're going to just resend or send the check back that they received. CQ is going to send the check back that they received to the comptroller, and then the comptroller is going to mail it out to you. I'm not sure why CQ just couldn't give it to me, but whatever. But the point of me saying all of this is saying the favor, the favor that God gave me. So this man said when he usually puts claims through, it usually takes about 2 to 3 business days for him to hear back from anybody. Y'all, it took about 2 to 3 hours for them to get back to me. God continues to break protocol for me and for y'all. If y'all continue to believe in him, trust in him, and not allow unexpected things to throw you off course, just like I said. So it was just so crazy how quickly he called me back, because I was not expecting that at all. So it was very unexpected. So I was able to get that situated. I was also able to finally edit the denim content. So y'all, me and Jordan recorded some denim content last year at Nordstrom Rack. And I hadn't gotten an opportunity to edit it because at that time I wasn't paying for Filmora, and I didn't have an editing app that would allow me to add the audio and the video on there. It was just a lot going on, but obviously I have Filmora now, and I finally got an opportunity to edit that content, and it was the perfect time because we're in spring and I recorded it last spring. So it made sense for me to post it now. So I was able to edit all that content, and I'm like posting that content periodically throughout the month. So I already started posting it and it looks great. So I'm glad I was able to do that. And I want to record more content like that. But I'm gonna get this content out the way first because it's a lot. Also, Chandra reached out to me. So this is a woman I connected with on LinkedIn years ago. And when we had reconnected earlier, I want to say in April or March, she had mentioned to me that, because I was reaching out to her to invite her to my workshop. She said she couldn't attend, but she did say that she was going to reach out to the group that she has started being a part of to see if anyone there would attend. And she said, you actually might enjoy coming to one of our meetups. So told me when they were, and she told me she would let me know once, she gets the final date. So literally the day before the next meetup, she messaged me and said, hey, just to let you know, one of the meetups is tomorrow. If you are able to come, you should come. So y'all, I'm usually not a last minute kind of girl, but I went. Although it was last minute, I went. We had to get there by like 8:30 a.m., which is very early for me to get someplace and to be fully awake and like up. So I was able to make it, connected with a few women, reconnected with some other women that I had met before, and just made some really cool connections. And from that, I was able to meet a guy by the name of James, who I absolutely love. You'll be hearing more about him throughout the next vlog. Of course, I was able to meet Chandra in person. We had a lunch after that. I was able to connect with Rachel. Rachel invited me to one of the workshops she hosted with her group that was put on by Robin, who is an image consultant that I had also knew about on LinkedIn. We were able to connect. So a lot of great, now that I'm like talking about it, a lot of great connections came out of going to that event. Although everybody that I connected with wasn't actually in the room, I met people who connected me with other people who I'm now friends with. So it was just a really great experience, and I may attend the next one. We'll see. It all depends on how I'm feeling. They have them twice a month, so I can always go whenever. Also, Raven was giving us different instructions on things that we can do throughout the Pursuit of Prosperity Bootcamp. And on this particular day, she encouraged us to treat ourselves and buy something for ourselves. So I had decided to purchase a massage. So I love getting massages. I feel like my body always needs to be de-stressed. So I booked a massage that day for, I want to say, the following week. And I'm so glad that I did because it felt so good. All right, y'all. So on April 10th, this was a day where I actually attended the Bagels to Breakfast meetup. And like I told y'all, I made some really great connections there. There was one woman who I connected with who was interested in being a client. So I scheduled an email to her, reached out, but I haven't heard back from her. I also followed up and I still haven't heard back from her. So I'm gonna try following up again. But at this point, I am not forcing any clients through my business. I really am praying and believing that God will provide me with the right clients at the right time. But of course, I'm still gonna do my part and do everything that I need to do to make that happen. So I followed up with her twice, haven't heard back, so we'll see where that takes us. But aside from that, what else happened? Oh, this was the same day that I had increased my price for my style breakthrough session. So y'all, if y'all know me, y'all know that I have been styling for about 10 years now, almost 11. And my business has evolved, and so have I. And since 2023, I have rebranded and reconfigured my business, and my process looks different, my offer looks different, and how I do things is just a little bit different than what I was doing before. So the first step that every client has to go through, basically the discovery call, is called a style breakthrough session. And I was doing those for like $59. They were a paid price point, and they weren't always like that. When I had first launched the new process and the new offer in July of 2023, they were free. So people were just scheduling, signing up, and I felt like I was still having the same issue that I was having before. People weren't serious, people weren't, showing up, and it was just a lot. So I had added a price point to it of $59, and I was getting people, slowly but surely getting people scheduling the sessions and paying the $59 fee. but I wanted to increase that price point. At this point, I had done a little bit more in my business. I had worked with a little bit more different types of people, different brands. I had been on the news, like all these things. So I wanted to increase the price point of my style breakthrough session. So I increased it to $97. And at this point in time, no one had scheduled with me, but I was excited to see like who I would get now that I had that price point. Also, I hosted a webinar for the mentorship that I plan to create and release for Project Style University. So if you don't know, I also coach first generation personal stylists in helping them to really transform their style hustle into a profitable business. And I haven't really been doing much of anything in that part of my business because I've been so focused on my own styling business and making sure that I was getting clients and really showing up consistently. So I felt led to create a mentorship program. I have been getting requests. I'm pretty sure I said this before, but I have been getting quite a few requests for mentorship. And I wanted to create something that would be helpful to the women who was reaching out to me, the stylists who were reaching out to me. But I also wanted to make sure that it was of value and that it was a paid mentorship. So I'm not offering free mentorship. This is paid. And I have no problem with adding a price point to it because I know the value that I will be adding to their life. So this particular day, I hosted The Power of Mentorship, which is a webinar where I basically talked about the importance of mentorship, the benefits of it, and I introduced my mentorship program. Although it wasn't fully thought out, I still wanted to let my audience know that this is what I was working on and this is what's planning to happen in the next year or so. So 2 stylists showed up, y'all. 2. One of them was actually my mentee, one of my mentees. So it was nice to be able to just go through that presentation. Although only two stylists were on there, it was still really cool to answer their questions, to give them an opportunity to even ask questions. And my mentee also was able to talk through like her experience with working through me or with me and basically gave a review. So I'm hoping that I can potentially host another webinar to talk about the mentorship when it actually like launches. And I'm also praying that God continues to give me the wisdom to create a mentorship program that is valuable. I did get an opportunity to kind of sit down and jot down some ideas. So he's definitely been like revealing different things to me as far as like what that mentorship program can look like, but I haven't really gotten a launch date for it yet. So I'm just taking my time. It's no rush, but I'm excited to launch that when it does happen. I also submitted a blog post to ModSense to get paid. So I received the $100. I'm sure I didn't receive it that day. I'm sure it was a few days after that, but I did that. And yeah, just praying for the wisdom for the mentorship and also the right people, the right stylists to come through the mentorship program. All right, y'all. So on April 11th, I woke up to go to my nail appointment. So at the time, technically I didn't have the money to go get my nails done, but I just used money from my savings account to get that done and to get gas. I don't always like to take money from my savings account to pay for things like that, but I knew that the next day was a payday for me and I knew that I had more money coming. So it really was just a test of my faith and a way for me to trust God even more. So I was able to get my nails done, was able to get gas. And this day I also was able to attend the workshop that I told y'all about that I was invited to by Rachel. So Rachel is the woman that I connected with at the Breakfast to Bagels event, and her organization was hosting a workshop with Robin Fisher, who is an image consultant. And she had told me about the event. She had invited me. She gave me a discount code. So I ended up purchasing a ticket. Again, I'm not a last minute type of person, but I felt led to go to this event. So I'm glad I went, y'all, because when I went, first of all, it was at the Startup Armory, which is a like co-working space / community space at Towson University. And it's free. It's not just free for Towson students. It's free for anybody. Between 9 and 5, you could just come in and do work, record content, do whatever, and utilize the space. So the space was beautiful. And I only knew about it after attending the event that Robin Fisher was facilitating. So I walked into the space. It was nice. Met Rachel, got my name tag, got some food, sat right in the front. And before I knew it, Robin was walking over to me to introduce herself to me. She's like, I know you. I'm like, yeah, we follow each other on LinkedIn. She's like, yes. So she introduced herself to me, y'all. I did not have to go out of my way. Super nice woman. And it was really, really cool to watch her facilitate and also hear her story. Originally, or usually, I don't like to attend other stylist events because as a stylist, not to say that they will take clients from me or anything, but I just don't want the women in the room to feel like they have to choose. So I say that to say, you know, I want the woman that is hosting the event to get the clients who are in the room. I don't want to like walk around and introduce myself like, hey, yeah, I'm a stylist too. You want to work with me? Like, I just always thought that was weird. But I'm glad that I was able to attend Robin's event because I was able to, like I said, hear her story and really learn about her philosophy and really learn about how she sees style and just her perspective on style. And also connected with some really nice women in the room. Some of them I already knew, some of them I didn't. And I also connected with a potential client. I actually reached out to her and I haven't heard back, but it's all good. I'm gonna probably follow up again very soon. But I say that to say, like, don't stop yourself from attending events hosted by people who do exactly what you do, because there is more than enough work and clients and money out here for us to get. And it's no reason why we should be preventing ourselves from connecting and like attending events because we feel like, you know, we do that same thing. Like, why would we support that, or why would we go to that? Like, you know, I'm really big on not confusing people. And I just never want to be in a space where I don't want people to have to be confused about what I do, or to feel like they have to choose one stylist over me. Like, I don't like being in spaces like that. But I'm glad I went because it just gave me the opportunity to step out of my comfort zone and really understand, like, okay, I can actually attend other stylist events, not to just support them, but to also connect with potential clients in the room that are for me. And also, after connecting with Robin, I was able to get her phone number and we were able to plan a lunch date, which we just had last week, I want to say, or a week ago, 2 weeks ago. And it was really, really nice again, like hearing more of her story, getting some advice from her, and just really learning about, you know, all the things that she does in her styling business. She really gave me a different perspective and just gave me the courage to keep pushing and going in the right direction. Also, I forgot to mention, that same day, I got my check. I got my refund check, y'all. So it finally came. And like I said, like, I don't usually pull money from my savings account to do like personal things, but I knew that the next day was payday, so I wasn't really tripping. And I'm glad I wasn't tripping because although I got paid, I then turned around and got my refund check. So financial favor all over. Financial favor was all over this month, and will continue to be all over the remainder of the months throughout this year. Okay, so on April 12th, this day was the first day where I did bento styling. So it launched in April, and my manager asked if I could help with the launch of it, and I'm still helping. And I don't mind because I love the mix of what I do at my job as opposed to just doing the same thing every day. So that day was the first day of the bento styling, and I enjoyed it. I have done like virtual styling for years, so this wasn't new to me, but it was new in the fact where it was new processes and or new tools used to create the bento boxes. So it was just interesting really grasping the concept of how they do it versus how I'm used to doing it. But it was the same thing, you know, asking questions, choosing pieces that best align with the form that the client filled out, and allowing them to shop. So that was the first day of the bento styling, and it's been going great. I was also able to get a tire rotation that day and an oil change that day. I wasn't gonna go at first because it was raining, but then it stopped raining, so I was then able to go, and I'm glad I did because it was nobody at the car dealership, and I was able to just get right in and right out. Also, since I got my refund check, I was able to do a lot of things that I had been putting off. So I was able to pay my tithes, I was able to pay off some debt, and I also sold into a friend to help her pay her rent. Y'all, I've never done anything like that before. ever. But she was one of my, we call each other sisters in the Increase 365 group. So she was one of my Increase sisters, and she had put in the chat that she was praying that God would provide her with the money for her rent. And, you know, when she said it, I'm like, well, I got the refund. Maybe I should help. Maybe I should help her. So it just popped in my mind, and I was kind of like, you know, just taking my time. But I felt like I kept being nudged to like help her. So I sent her a message in the group chat, and I said, hey girl, how much is your rent? Like, how much more do you need to pay? And she's like, about $300 and some odd dollars. I'm like, oh, okay. What's your cash app? And she's like, oh my gosh, thank you. Mind you, this same woman has sold into me before. She sold into me before. So it was an easy like process. And it was easy to digest because I'm like, she's sewn into me before. I have to like, why wouldn't I sew back into her? So it felt good to be able to do that and still have money left over. It felt good to be able to do that and also help a friend, because that helped to increase her faith. You know, she's praying, she's asking God to provide her with the money. And unexpectedly, I sent her a DM saying, I got you, sis. So I hope y'all receive that. Like, when you're praying for things, again, everything is not going to come in the way that we think it's going to come. It's going to come in ways that is best suited for us, you know. And because she prayed for that and I was able to be an answered prayer for her, really made me feel good. So I'm glad that I'm turning into a fearless sower. All right, y'all. So on April 13th, that was a Saturday, and I had to work. And it was busy. I had quite a few appointments, and not everybody shopped right away, at least, but quite a few did shop while we were on the call, so that was nice. Towards the end of the day, before that, I also had a meeting or a recording with Jess. So Jess is a stylist who used to be in charge of Brave Mode, or she founded Brave Mode, which is a platform for stylists as well, similar to what I do at PSU, but just a little different. And we had connected back when I was working at Amazon, because she was working at Amazon too. I don't know how I found out that she worked at Amazon. I think I maybe came across her page on LinkedIn or something. And that also showed me that she went to A&T. So y'all, we were literally at A&T together and did not know it. We were there together maybe for like 2 years and just never knew. So when I found out that she worked at Amazon, that's when we connected. I had started following her on Instagram, YouTube, all the things. We've worked together in quite a few different capacities. But this time around, she wanted to kind of put together like a podcast, and I called it like a stylist rant, where we pretty much talked about like how our lives have been going as stylists since the pandemic, and since like, you know, years have passed since we both kind of not have really been being consistent with both of our coaching programs and, you know, businesses. And we recorded that. We recorded episode 1 through Zoom. It's supposed to be posted on YouTube. But it was really, really nice to like just talk, have girl talk and business talk, and make sense of what, you know, it means to be a stylist. So I'm glad we were able to record that. And I think she may have called me like a couple of weeks ago, like, girl, I can't find the footage. So we're planning to re-record the same content, kind of the same, but probably a little bit different. We're planning to re-record that, I think, later this month or next month. I can't remember. But hopefully she finds the footage, but if not, I'm okay with re-recording too. But at the end of that day, I also met with the photographer Io. When we originally connected, he wanted me to basically model his wife's purses. So his wife creates purses, and she has a purse brand, and she designs them by hand. So he wanted me to model her purses. So we had scheduled a shoot for the 13th, which is that day. And that evening I was able to shoot with him. he created this beautiful video, y'all. He does some great work. He created this really, really nice video, took some really nice pictures of me, and it was just nice to be working with a photographer again. I hadn't worked with Elena since the end of 2023, so it hasn't been that long, but I also like haven't like done a shoot like that in a while. So it was nice to kind of get back in the groove of things. Y'all, I am not a model, so please don't ask me. But I get things done that need to be done. So I helped him out, and he offered to help me out. So hopefully he will be available to take video and picture at my next workshop. That's confirmed for June 29th. So yeah, we're bartering services, y'all, because that's what this is all about, to be honest. Oh, and also come to find out, he was scrolling through his phone. He had pulled up his Instagram, and because he wanted to show me basically an example of the video that he wanted to record and the type of content that he wanted to capture. So he opens up his phone and he opens up Instagram. The first person I see is Larissa. Larissa was the vendor at my workshop back in March. So I said, oh, you know Larissa? He's like, you know Larissa? I'm like, yeah, she actually vended at my workshop that I had back in March. And she's a friend of Mona Lee. Mona Lee was a part of my workshop as well. And she told me to, you know, have, or suggested that I have Larissa. He's like, you know Mona Lee too? I'm like, yeah, how do you know them? He's like, they go to my church. I'm like, how in the world? I just giggle because I'm like, God really be playing. How in the world did you connect me and him? And it didn't even like come to a conclusion that we knew the same people and they go to the same church. How funny is that? So I just thought that was a funny little, like, you know, I don't even know how to explain it, but God is funny. He is a funny God. Okay, so April 14th, y'all, was a busy day and a very kind of stressful day. It was Sunday, so Jordan and I woke up and went to church. And then after church, we went to an Orioles game. So it was Sunday, supposed to be Sunday fun day. So we went to an Orioles game. The weather was nice. We went to Pickles first, as always. Went to the Orioles game. Cool. But y'all, I have allergies. I have a really bad allergies. And I have had really bad allergies since 2010, I want to say. And I still haven't really, well, at this point in time, I hadn't really found an allergy medicine that worked. I was taking the Target brand allergy medicine, but I also wasn't really outside like that. So it was working a little bit, but not really giving what I wanted it to give. So while we were sitting outside at the Orioles game, my allergies literally started to attack me. My eyes were watering, I kept sneezing, I kept having to blow my nose. I just was not prepared. Then it got to a point where I couldn't fully breathe out my nose. It was just a lot. But I didn't allow it to stop Sunday fun day. So after that, we went to 2 restaurants. We went to some seafood restaurants, Cindy Lou's. Cindy Lou's, if you're from Baltimore, check them out. Cindy Lou's is in Harbor East. We went there because we had never been there before. Had a drink. And we didn't get any food, I don't think. I can't remember. Allergies were still acting up, but I was still making it do what it do. Then the last stop was the Pendry. Jordan had never been to the Pendry for drinks. I had, but it's just been a while. So we went to the Pendry, sat at the bar, and had drinks. We still had a really, really good day, but my allergies were taking me out, y'all. So by the time we got back home, I was over it. I took a shower, tried my best to like get myself together. And I went to sleep. And the next day, I believe I woke up and I went to Target or whatever to get real allergy medicine. So I ended up getting Zyrtec. I had asked all my friends who I know struggle with allergies. I'm like, what allergy medicine do y'all take? Literally everybody suggested Zyrtec. So I'm like, all right. At that point, I thought I had tried it before, but I realized that I didn't. So I went to go get Zyrtec, and I've been taking Zyrtec every day ever since. And y'all, it's been a game changer. Although every once in a while I will get the sniffles, I'll get some snot, I'll sneeze, I'll be a little congested. But 9 times out of 10, this medicine, this allergy medicine, has been doing wonders for me, and I will continue to use Zyrtex until my allergies disappear, because it's been so helpful. If y'all see me now, I'm perfectly fine. My nose is running a little bit, but I'm okay. I can, for the most part, breathe, and have been able to breathe since I've been taking Zyrtex. So yeah, I'm so glad that I asked and started using Zyrtec, because like I said, it's been a game changer for me. So April 15th, like I said, I picked up the allergy medicine, y'all, and it changed my life. I was able to breathe, I was able to sleep well, I was able to really just get my life, and it felt so good. But that day, I worked, I had like a half a day, and then I had the rest of the day to myself. So I was able to, now that I had my refund check, I was able to pay a bill. I was able to buy some things for myself. I got my Sephora card because Sephora was having a sale. I got some perfume because y'all know I'm gonna do a video about this once July comes. But no, yeah, once June comes, we'll be halfway through the year. So I'm gonna post a video about all the perfumes that I've gotten per month up until now, and I'm gonna talk through it. But for the month of April, I was able to get my perfume for the month, and I also got my sister one because they were on sale. So I treated her to a perfume, and I got myself one, and yeah, so it felt good to be able to get that for myself as well. Okay, so April 16th, y'all, this was the day I got my massage. So y'all know I had scheduled a massage a couple of days ago. I think it was like a week before. I can't remember, but y'all heard me say it. So today was massage day. So I was so happy because I was off work. I did not have to open my computer, and I was able to get my massage. Then after that, y'all, I decided to do some shopping. Since like I said, I got the refund check, I wanted to do some shopping, and I didn't really know what I was looking for, but I had my shopping list, so I knew the things that I needed. So I went to Nordstrom Rack since I was already in the Columbia area, and I'm like, all right, the first thing that came to my mind was sunglasses. So, because I had just broke a pair of my sunglasses, a pair of my favorite sunglasses. So I wanted to get some to replace them. So I had walked into Nordstrom Rack, trying on all the sunglasses, and I found a really cute pair that I love. So I was able to get those. And I said, let me walk around and see what else I could find. Again, was not looking for anything, just seeing what was available, and was gonna get whatever I felt led to get. So of course I go straight to the shoes, because I'm like, you could always find a nice pair of shoes at Nordstrom Rack. So going through the shoes, I had found a couple of pairs of sneakers, a couple of pairs of sandals, trying everything on. Everything was looking cute, but nothing was really like, get this, like you should get this. The one pair of sandals that I really did like and wanted to get, the color that I wanted did not come in the size that I needed. They were a little too big, but then I found a pair that was in my size, but it wasn't the right color. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not about to force it. So I'm like, all right. So I was gonna get a pair of sneakers, and I was gonna get the Air Maxes. I had found a really cute pair of Nike Air Maxes that were like lavender and I think like pink. So they were cute and white. But I just was like, I don't just want to get these just to get them. Like, they're cute, but I kind of want something a little bit more like sleek. But I was still gonna get them because they were comfy, and I could always use a pair of like fresh sneakers. So as I was putting some of the shoes back, I had went down the aisle that I had already went down multiple times, and I had turned around and I saw these Pumas. I'm like, these are cute. Like, what? So I'm looking at them, trying them on. Y'all, they had a gum bottom. Y'all know I love a gum bottom. They also were ivory. Y'all, that favor. God knows, like, God be knowing. I love ivory. Like, that's just my color for the season right now. That's my new neutral. I wear it all the time, and I love it. And I don't have a pair of ivory colored like sneakers. I have like the ivory booties that I got from Nordstrom Rack quite a few months ago, but I don't have a pair of ivory sneakers. So when I saw these, I'm like, they have a gum bottom, they're ivory, and they had a little splash of pink on there. I said, I'm getting these. They fit perfectly, and I think they were slightly cheaper than the Nikes I was about to get. So y'all, I got a new pair of sunglasses, I got a new pair of sneakers. for less than $100, and I was happy. I was very happy. Very, very happy. Okay, y'all, so April 17th, we are moving through the month, and I ain't wasting no time. So on this day, I worked. I had some bento clients and I had some virtual styling clients. And for the most part, I think everybody shopped, which I always like to say. And I'm looking forward to seeing my commission check after adding this bento styling into my repertoire. I don't know, but y'all know what I mean. After now adding it into the things that I do for work. So I'm looking forward to seeing my commission check. We get our commission check next week for the month of March, I want to say. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. Now, that won't include bento styling just yet because we didn't start bento styling until April. But I know I had some really, really great sales in March, so I'm excited to see what my commission check is looking like next week. I will keep y'all posted. I was also able to go to the market and just pick up a few more things that I needed. When I had originally, the day before when I had got my massage, I had also did some grocery shopping. But y'all, I brought one bag into the store and I did not have any more room to add anything else into it. So I only got like a handful of things. So I had to go back to the store to get a few more things that I needed. Also, I reached out to Morgan and Jade, my two homegirls who are in the space of mental health, social work, and therapy. And I had calls with them, or I scheduled calls with them to talk to them about my upcoming workshop, Style Therapy. So I'm so excited to be hosting that workshop. I'm so excited to have both Morgan and Jade to be a part. They both seem very excited to be a part, and I'm excited to like see how this goes. But they both confirmed that they were interested, so it was a good day. Okay, y'all, so April 18th was a crazy day. So when I had attended Robin Fisher's event, on the table were invitations to a women's event that was happening at the Startup Armory the following week. So I took a picture of it, I registered for the event, and today, April 18th, was the event. So the event was a morning like breakfast panel with women in finance. So it was a lot of women in the room, a good amount of women panelists, and it was all really great to hear their stories and to ask them questions. The event was nice too. They had really good food and I was able to indulge. The event started at 8:30, another early one, and it ended about like 10:30. But I literally had to leave by 10:30 because I had a hair appointment at 11. So I had to travel from Towson all the way back home in the Owings Mills area to go to my hair appointment. So I was literally rushing, y'all, rushing. I had to text my hairstylist like, I'm gonna be a few minutes late. I'm coming from an event. And y'all, I was not off this day. I still had to work. So I was clocked in, but I was getting my hair done. And once I got my hair done, I was able to go home and finish my work day. I had picked up an energy drink because I knew I was gonna be tired. So I had more than enough energy to like do my work, do what I needed to do, and all the things. I even had a connection call with a woman that I met earlier this year, back in January, I want to say, on a virtual event. And she has scheduled to connect with me that day. So we had a connection call, super sweet. She actually is from and lives in St. Louis. And I told her that I was potentially coming to St. Louis this year for the Supernaturally Paid Praise and Worship service. So y'all already know about that. The first one happened in Baltimore. The second one is happening in St. Louis next month. And I have been talking about going, but I haven't really been doing anything to prepare. So still praying to see if I'm meant to be in the room, but I told her that if I do attend, that I would definitely let her know. I would invite her, and yeah, so y'all pray for me. I'm not really sure if I'm gonna attend or not. I just want to make sure that I, one, have enough money to afford a flight and have enough money to afford stay. It's only one day, so I will be traveling into St. Louis the day before. It's on the 20th and then leaving the next morning. So Jordan was like, why is the event only one day? Especially when you're traveling out of town. Like sometimes it just doesn't make sense to have an event one day because it just doesn't make financial sense. I'm like, well, look, we gonna see. We gonna see what happens. I may or may not attend. I would love to attend, but I don't want to force it. So we gonna figure it out. But other than that, that's who I connected with. And I thought it was funny that she was from St. Louis because I had no idea. Also, I got my perfume for the month of April and it smells so good, y'all. I got another Fleur perfume and I plan on getting more. So do not judge me, judge your mother. I love the brand, I love the packaging, I love all the scents. And there are about 3 more scents that I want to get. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay, so on April 19th, I connected with a guy by the name of James. Me and James actually met through one of the women who attended the Breakfast to Business or Bagels to Breakfast meetup that I had talked about previously. The woman that I connected with, I actually need to reach out to her and thank her for connecting me with him. I've never actually connected with her, but she was the last woman at the Breakfast to Bagels event because I was still talking to people, and she was like the last person there. So when I got finished talking to the person I was talking to, she walked over to me and was like, hey, I don't think we met, wanted to give you my card, wanted to connect. And I told her what I did, and she's like, oh, I think you would mesh really well with one of my friends, James. He's a stylist too. I'm like, oh, okay. So I connect with her on LinkedIn. She said, yeah, I'm gonna tell him about you and he's gonna connect with you on LinkedIn. So literally before I could get home, James had already sent me a message on LinkedIn. So I'm like, okay, he's excited. So we connected over a virtual coffee chat this day and we hit it off, y'all. Super sweet guy. He's so relatable. He knows, literally, he agrees with, like, not agrees with everything that I say, but we're on the same page about a lot of things. And it was really cool too because he's a guy. I don't really know any guys who are stylists. So it was really nice to like get his perspective and to know that we both have some of the same like challenges when it comes to running our businesses. And he actually doesn't have, just yet, he doesn't have his own styling business. He styles through a brand called J. Hilburn, which I had heard before. The day where I lost my first big girl job at Trunk Club, September 30th, 2016 was my last day. Y'all, I literally cried at my desk. I tell this story all the time. And when I was off work, me and my homeboy Jawan, because Jawan was still working there, me and Jawan had known each other since middle school, and I had referred him to the job. And we left. We were walking around DC, and it just so happened that it was a J. Hilburn truck outside. And the lady was like, oh, would you want to be a stylist for J. Hilburn? Da 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 da. This is what you got to do. This is what it consists of. And I'm like, that doesn't really sound like it's for me. I'm good. But at the time that I was introduced to the brand that I had never heard of before. So fast forward to now, obviously they're still around, and James works for them. So we talked for almost 2 hours on the virtual coffee chat, just like kikiing and laughing and talking. And it was really nice to just connect with him, and now we're cool. So he's actually hosting an event next month that I'll be attending. We've already met for coffee once in real life, and I was able to see him in person. And then we have another lunch meetup, I want to say next month as well. So, and we're planning on collaborating and just staying in connection with each other. So I was excited to have finally met someone who understands where I'm coming from, that is a guy who is a stylist in the fashion industry. Also that day, I was able to meet up with my mentee, Dara, at our house. So this was our second time meeting, or meeting her in person. I met her for the first time at my workshop in March because she came out, she supported, and I'm like, girl, this is our first time meeting. She like, is it? I thought we'd been met each other in person. I'm like, no, this is our first time meeting. Y'all, I had met Dara in 2020 when I had launched PSU, and I worked with her and had never met her until this year. So this was my second time meeting her. She brought her daughter, and we pretty much just talked through her business and had a really nice like session. Although our house was kind of jumping, it was a little hard to like concentrate, but we still made it work. And I got some good food, and it was just a lot. It was a long day, so I was able to after that just go home and chill. Okay, y'all, so April 20th was 420. If y'all know, y'all know. So that day was a work day for me. So I had to work for a little bit, but it wasn't too busy. So I was kind of able to finish up work and make our way to our friend's house, our friend Zach. He was hosting a 420 cookout. So we all brought a dish. We all brought something that somebody could eat or drink, and we just had a good time. The weather was nice, my allergies wasn't acting up, and I was able to just enjoy myself. So I'm glad that I was able to do that because I had the allergy medicine. So definitely suggest Zyrtec if you are having terrible allergy symptoms this year. Okay, on April 21st, it was Sunday, so Jordan and I were able to attend church. And then I was so tired still from the day before, so I came back from church and took a nap. But I woke up and ended up going to Katrina's group. So she had invited me to come to the group meeting and just meet the ladies who I will be speaking to when I host my workshop at her next group event. And it was so nice. I was able to see her home. I met some of the women who are a part of her group, and they were all super nice. Of course, I was the youngest in the room, as always, but it just felt good to be in conversation with women who I could relate to in some kind of way. I was also able to see the space that I will be hosting the group workshop for her group. So it'll be in her basement, and we're gonna set up like the what is it called? The projector to project the screen and all that good stuff. So it was super cute. So on April 22nd, that was a Monday. Of course, I had to work, and I worked from the bed, y'all. I had a long weekend, and I felt like I needed to catch up on sleep, and I just wasn't 100%. So I worked from the bed, but it was very productive. I got a lot of personal work done and a lot of work done at work. And I got a random shout out on Slack for reaching or for having a really, really nice sales day in Bento. Like I told y'all, my first day was a couple of days before, and I was a little not really sure if I was gonna make any sales, but I did. And with the help of my coworker, we really exceeded our sales goals. So it was really nice to get shouted out in Slack, and the founder of MM LaFleur saw us and also congratulated us too. So that was a nice little surprise. Okay, so on April 23rd, I didn't mention this when she originally reached out, but Tonae had invited me to come to her school, Morgan, and be a part of the Family and Consumer Sciences career fair. And it was really cool because if you've been to school and you've been to college, you know that that's kind of like the fashion department. They do more than just fashion, but that's where the students who study fashion, they are a part of that major. And when I was in school, we had career fairs all the time, but it was never anything that was strictly created for fashion majors or fashion students. And although I wasn't a fashion major or a fashion student at A&T, fashion was my passion. So I already knew that I wanted to work in the fashion industry, but there was never any fashion jobs or brands that came to the career fair. Everything was either like finance or engineering or accounting or health or whatever else. Nothing that I could relate to. So for me, it was a full circle moment when she reached out and asked if I wanted to be a part of their career fair and really talk to the students about showing up and having a successful fashion career. No matter what industry or no matter what sector, you know, fashion design, styling or whatever else, I can still, you know, provide my expertise with how to really be a successful fashion creative or fashion entrepreneur. So I had created like this really cute slideshow. It was random and I kind of stayed up a little late the night before to create it, but I was able to finish it in time, and I basically was going to showcase it at my table. I didn't really have much on my table but measuring tape. I had a rolling rack of some clothes that I had brought to Jordan's house for the weekend, and my business cards, and then my computer where I was displaying my presentation. But when I had first started, Tonae was like, "Oh, do you want to put your presentation up on the TVs?" I'm like, "Oh no, that's cool. You know, I don't have to do that." She's like, "No, go ahead and do it." I'm like, "Okay." So I was able to get my entire presentation displayed on all the TVs throughout the room that we were hosting the career fair in. And y'all, it was so cool. It was cool because the presentation really, it asked the audience questions, but it also displayed like my career path and like some of the challenges and ups and downs that I went through throughout my journey. And I displayed both the good and the bad. And I did that on purpose because I never want any students or anybody coming up or following in my footsteps to think that my path was a straight path, or that, you know, working in the industry of styling is so perfect and so glamorous, because it's the complete opposite. So it was really cool to have my presentation displayed because it brought people to my table and encouraged them to ask questions, and it gave me the opportunity to really encourage the students, give some advice and all the things. So y'all, I was very full once I left that event. Although I was like giving so much, it made me feel really, really good. I love like encouraging other stylists, encouraging other fashion creatives, and just really giving them a different perspective on what their career path could look like, and also giving them advice too, and really giving them the true like real deal when it comes to working in the fashion industry. I got some really, really nice footage from that. Jordan was able to come get some video content and some pictures of me that I'll pop up here, and it was such a great experience. So again, thank you to Tone for referring me to the opportunity, and I'm looking forward to more opportunities like that where I'm able to talk to students and really give them my real perspective on what the fashion industry is all about. Okay, so on April 24th, I basically worked all day. I originally had a half day, but then forgot that I added some extra time to my availability to do bento styling. So once I was done virtual styling, I moved on over to the bento styling, and it was cool. I can't remember if I made any sales or not, but I'm pretty sure I did. Then after that, I was kind of tired, but my uncle had invited my mom and I over to his house to celebrate my aunt's uncle's birthday. I don't think I've ever even met this man in person before, but when my uncle invites me to stuff, I try to show up. So we went to his house. They had food for us, and of course drinks and things. So we just sat and talked and chilled. And then towards the end, I'm glad I drove by myself because my uncle needed some help with applying for a job. So after my mom left, I stayed to help my uncle apply for a job, and I hope that he got it. I haven't heard back from him since, so I'm not really sure if he did or not. But he's in the process of applying for some opportunities, so I hope the right one, is available for him. And of course, he paid me for that too, which I wasn't expecting, so it was a nice little cash app that was unexpected, so I was thankful for that. So April 25th, another busy day, y'all. I worked, I had some meetings and all the things. This particular day, I actually had a virtual meeting with Keisha. So Keisha has been a friend of mine for forever, and I've been following her on social media, and she recently last year started hosting this event called ProCon. So it's pretty much a one-day conference type of event that is interactive, full of like different workshops, different panel discussions, food, drinks, content creation, and just a full day. Keisha is in the PR industry, so ProCon is basically like PR con for all the people in the PR industry, PR and like media. So when she hosted the first one last year, I was able to attend, and I really, really enjoyed it. And I was just blown away by all the details and just everything that, was available to us at the event. And I just knew that I wanted to be a part of the next one. So when she reached out to me about being a part of this one, I was excited. Originally, I wanted to be either a panelist or I wanted to host my own workshop. But she actually came to me with another idea that I'm excited to be a part of. So we basically talked through that idea on that call, and I gave her my perspective. She gave me her perspective, and we kind of solidified a few details. So she said she would just get back to me when she confirms everything. So looking forward to being a part of ProCon if it's meant to be. And I'm excited to always educate and share my expertise and really help women and even some guys, if they show up, really look and feel better about their appearance. I was also able to get some sneakers cleaned. So my homeboy Miles clean sneakers, and I was getting a bunch of sneakers cleaned from him. I want to say in 2023, I think, or 2022, one of the two. But it had been a while, and I had some sneakers that I wanted clean. So I was able to drop those 2 pairs of sneakers off to him to get cleaned. And I actually picked them up a couple of weeks ago, and I've been wearing them. So I'm thankful that, 1, I was able to pay for that, and 2, I was able to finally get them clean, so now I can wear them again. And that evening, I was able to meet up with Denise. So Denise was actually at the sneaker ball, and I had actually originally connected with her. How did we connect originally? I think it may have been on like Instagram, but I saw her for the first time at the sneaker ball that I went to. I can't remember what year it was, maybe 2019, I can't remember, but that's when I saw her for the first time there, I think. And I hadn't seen her since. So it was really nice seeing her at this year's sneaker ball. And she was like, girl, like, hit me up. We can do lunch. We can do happy hour, da 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 da. She's also a stylist, but she actually does a lot of, she's like a TV personality. So she does a lot of like style segments on the news, and different news platforms. So, and she's also based out of New York, but she comes back and forth to Baltimore because she works with the B.org organization. So when I seen her at the sneaker ball, I already knew we had to connect. So I had reached out to her, sent her a text, sent her a DM, and we were able to schedule a happy hour date. So that day I was able to meet with her. It was so nice seeing her, so nice catching up, and just getting her advice on some things, and just her, just her perspective on some things that I could be doing and all the things. So it's always nice connecting with Denise, and I look forward to connecting with her again. I know when we went to New York last week, I was trying to meet up with her, but it just didn't work because we were only there for literally 2.5 seconds. So next time I'm in New York, Denise, I'm gonna come and we gonna have a good time. Okay, so April 26th was a Friday. It was the end to a very, very busy week with me doing virtual styling and then bento styling. It was a lot going on, but this day I was able to get my nails done. I think I got both my nails and my toes done, so I got the full spiel. So it took a little longer than what I expected, but it's all good. That evening I was invited to see Tone get inducted into some type of society. She got really good grades this semester, and I think it was the Tau Beta Sigma Society that she got inducted into. So they had a ceremony for her that evening, and she had invited me to that. But because it took me forever at the nail salon, I literally missed it. So when I pulled up at Morgan, literally turned to my left and seen Tone, her mom, Nick, and Sierra all walking because it was over. They were leaving. So I'm like calling her like, Tone. So I ran and caught up to them, and she's like, girl, it's over. I'm like, I know, I see, but what y'all about to do? So I ended up hanging out with them for the rest of the night. We went to our house, got some food, got some drinks to celebrate, and we went back to Nick's house to just chill and talk and really catch up. I haven't really seen Tone in a while before doing the career fair, so it was nice to like see her and also be celebrating something good. So that was a good end to a very stressful and busy week. But it didn't stop there, because on April 27th, y'all, I was a speaker / panelist at the Be a Barbie, Bring a Barbie event. So this event was hosted by Morgan, who is also going to be at my event, Style Therapy. And this was her second time hosting the Be a Barbie, Bring a Barbie event, but my first time attending and being a part. Like I said in the last couple of testimonial videos, Morgan and I connected in January of this year, and ever since then we've been super cool and just connected and just doing things. So she invited me to be a part of that event, and she also invited Jade to be a part, which is so funny because her and Jade are going to be at my event on June 29th. But the event was so nice, y'all. I'm gonna post some videos and pictures here, but I ended up wearing the yellow dress that I got from the Amazon and Janae Naylor collaboration. This was like maybe 2 years ago. And I wore that yellow dress with my pink heels, so definitely like a little Barbie-ish feel or vibe. She had a swing, she had a Barbie box you could take pictures in. She had a grass wall, she had vendors, you can get your picture, your painted, your whatever it's called when you get like it's like a caricature. You could get your caricature done. We had paintings. It was like a lot going on, but it was such a nice experience. Me and Jade sat beside each other, and then Jade invited her friend Keyshawn, who she always talked about and I had never met. So it was nice meeting Keyshawn. Jordan got some really nice footage of me, and I also got some really cute pictures from Morgan. I plan on posting those soon. But aside from that, thank you, Morgan, for letting me be a part of Be a Barbie, Bring a Barbie. It was such a great experience, and I really enjoyed speaking on the panel with the other two women who were on the panel with me. After that event, of course, we went out to celebrate. So me, Jade, and Keyshawn ended up going to Wicked Sisters, which is a restaurant here in Baltimore in the Hamden area, and we got a drink and some little bar food, and it was really cute. It was a little girls' day, girls whatever, and we talked. Like I said, that was my first time meeting Keyshawn, so it was nice to hear her story, and now we're connected. She's actually an event planner, so when I'm able to budget for an event planner, I will definitely be reaching out to her. But until then, I'm gonna continue just planning my own events just to save a coin. But other than that, if y'all need an event planner, definitely hit up Keyshawn. All the details of everything are going to be in the description box below, so make sure you check her out. So April 28th, another Sunday fun day. Again, we did not go to church this Sunday because we ended up going to the farmers market. So if you're in the Baltimore area, you know that there is a farmers market that happens every single Sunday from I think 8 to like 12 under the bridge under 83. And it's always good because they always have a bunch of food, a bunch of fresh food, a bunch of like vendors, a bunch of like different things, and everybody be out there. So it was a really, really nice day that day. So we went to the farmers market, we met up with a few of our friends there, and after that we ended up going to the Be More flea market. So earlier that week when I was at my uncle's house, my aunt had actually told me about the Be More flea market, and she said that it was happening on Sunday. So I'm like, all right, bet, we'll probably slide past there once we go to the farmers market. So that's exactly what we did. And Jordan ended up getting like some really cool t-shirts. They had a lot of vintage like t-shirts and jackets and like different things for guys and even women. And then they had some jewelry. It was at this brewery, so they had like beer and all the things. And I got this really cute bracelet. It has like little crosses on it. So cute, and I haven't taken it off since, but it goes with my necklace, and I plan on getting some rings too. I was looking for some, but they didn't have any that was really speaking to me, so I just got the bracelet, and I'm glad I did because it's super cute. But I picked that up, and then after that we, like I said, met up with some of our friends, so we ended up going to brunch and we got some drinks. And then after that we went to our homeboy Zach's house for like 2 seconds. We were a little lit at this point, y'all. We went to our homeboy Zach's house for 2 seconds, then we left there and went to Jordan's house. We drank some more, we ate, we talked, we laughed, and all the things, and that was that. So it was another unexpected Sunday fun day, but it was nice. So I'm looking forward to more Sunday fun days this summer. On April 29th, it was Monday, so y'all already know I had to work. I was at Jordan's house, so I basically just worked from Jordan's and did a lot of styling, did a lot of admin work and content creation. I was able to upload the content from the weekend, from the Be a Barbie, Bring a Barbie event, and from the career fair that I went to at Morgan. And I was able to edit a lot of that content so that I could share it on social media. So it was a productive day. I was also able to work out, which is nice. I try to work out at least 3 to 4 times a week. So it was nice. It's always nice to start the week off with working out on a Monday. So it was a nice day. All right, y'all. So the last day of April flew by. Like, I recorded the March testimonial, but at this point I hadn't even put it out because I didn't even get a chance to edit it. So the March testimonial didn't even go out until May, but it's all good. We gonna be on track this month. But other than that, the last day of April was really good. I was able to get some work done, and I also had a lunch meetup with Chandra. So we ended up going to Tark's. Their food was really good. It's always good, and we were able to connect and just talk over lunch. And then after that, I had auntie duties. So thank God I was off work that day because my nephew needed to be picked up from school. His school is very close to where Jordan lives. So I was able to finish up lunch with Chandra and go back to Jordan's, pack up my stuff, and head to Jet's school so that I could pick him up. I made it to his school on time. I was able to pick him up on time, but I still had some errands to run. So after that, he pretty much went with me everywhere. We went to the market. I had to pick up my sneakers from Miles, and I also had to do a few more other things too. So after I was done, I was able to drop him home and get finished my day. When I got home, my package that I had ordered for my mom for Mother's Day had delivered. So I had ordered her a purse from Coach, and I really wasn't sure what I was going to get her for Mother's Day, but when I came across this bag, I'm like, oh, I think she would like this. So I had ordered it and it had delivered. So it was really nice. She loved the bag, y'all. I gave it to her for Mother's Day, which was last week. So she loved the bag. She loved everything. My sister got her some cute gifts too. So I'm just thankful that I was able to get her something this year, because it has definitely been quite a few Mother's Days, I don't know, where I couldn't actually afford to like get her anything. So it felt good to be able to get her something that I know she's gonna get a lot of use out of. And yeah, so y'all, this is the end of the April testimonial video. Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think. If y'all received anything from this, let me know. If you were encouraged or inspired, let me know. I'm gonna keep these videos coming throughout the year, like I said, because I'm challenging myself to not only talk through what I experienced throughout the month, but also share financial favor, share the gospel, and just testify about all the things that God has been doing in my life. And just to encourage you to follow the Holy Spirit, follow God, get to know Him, have your own relationship with Him, and really just continue believing in Him and increasing your faith in what He can do for you. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.